Hello, welcome to my flight review channel. Today we are flying on WAMOS Air, a pretty much unknown charter and wet lease airline company based out of Madrid in Spain. Flying in their business class product on their A330 wide-body jets. Leaving from the wonderful city of Madrid. On this long-haul flight over to San Salvador and El Salvador and then on to Los Angeles, a usual route for Avianca. However, WAMOS is on hire to do this route for them. Good morning and welcome to a beautiful day in Madrid. It's actually December, the sun is out, it's really very nice. The leaves are falling off the tree. Walking down Avenida in Madrid here, I'm not quite sure where I am, but it's very pretty. So today we're going to be flying over to San Salvador in El Salvador, a 10-hour flight from Madrid on WAMOS, which is a wet lease airline company. They're wet leasing for Avianca right now. Avianca doesn't have enough planes to do this service, so they use WAMOS for that on an A330 aircraft on business class. Another example of a wet lease airline would be Highfly, which uses A380s. I haven't been on one of those planes just yet. So join me on this journey. Let's see what it's like. Madrid is a lovely European city and the capital of Spain. There are many great restaurants and museums in this city and also has wonderful Spanish architecture with its tree-lined avenues and old world buildings. I would recommend anyone visiting Spain to try out Madrid and of course Barcelona, which is also one of my other favourites. What I like about this city is its splendour and grace, and for a big capital city, the ambience does not amplify craziness or chaos, but more serenity and calm. We will be leaving from Barajas International Airport on the outskirts of Madrid and flying on one of these white beauties across the Atlantic, firstly to San Salvador. As WAMOS Air is a wet lease company, Avianca, along with some other major airlines, uses their services when they do not have enough planes to complete their projected routes. So essentially it's still an Avianca flight with an Avianca check-in process, however, flying on a WAMOS aircraft. Unfortunately, no lounge for this flight, so it's basically just to head to the S terminal, to the gate, which took a very long time to get to. Barajas is a big international airport and it's not easy to navigate. Can be a little confusing with signage, and geography of the terminals are not easy to understand. A lot of escalators and arrows to follow to get to the building you need to be in. It is a very big airport. So finally I got to the S terminal after a long walk and found a mass of people waiting to board the plane. So there is no order to the waiting at the line and it is very chaotic. Here is our plane through the window. Another crazy view of all the passengers just waiting to get on. There was no order and the airline staff was not helping at all. This just seemed to get worse and worse, with the airline ground staff just staring at them and not helping to get any order in place. I was hungry and there was no lounge for this flight, so I got a cheese and ham sandwich and a water from the vending machine. I was starving. So I'm at the airport in Madrid, Terminal S, which is very, very far away from the actual check-in point, which was Terminal 4. There was a mess. So there's no business class lounge for Avianca at the airport. So I bought a ham and cheese sandwich from the vending machine because I'm really hungry and really thirsty before we board the plane. The plane economy passengers are like all grouped together, ready for the lineup. It's like a massive horde of people. Look at the photos, it's insane. We finally get on board and take a first look at the cabin, which looks not too bad, and the pods look great and it's clean. So this is my seat for the flight over to San Salvador. Once we get there, we have to get off the plane and board again for LA, where I have a different seat assigned. You can see here there are Avianca pillows, blankets on the seats for the night flight over the pond. Business class did get priority boarding, and this helped because it was chaotic at the start with no clear business class line to get into. Again, ground services were not helping at all. The entertainment screen was a good size and a nice clear picture of easy controls. There was a small ottoman to rest your feet, and here is where I placed my pillows and blankets for the time being. This pod had a large, easy pull-out dining table. This was the padding to put on the seats for the flight, and when we got into a relaxing position, it was an easy hook-over placement, and I have seen these on Avianca when I flew them before. Good quality pillow and blanket for this flight will help with comfort. The table was very easy to use and pulled out and placed down perfectly for dining. I really like this table setup compared to the more complicated ones out there. Welcome drink was offered by the WAMOS flight crew, who so far were very friendly. Here you can see the remote control, or the IFE, which also has a call bell and lighting, and then the seat control was to the side. This seat goes fully flat with no angle. Here we have the pod reading light, which was actually quite bright, and to the left the storage area for the pod. WAMOS store using Avianca seat headings with their logo, and these horrible cheapy earphones which are nasty and didn't work. These headphones were disappointing with no real effort for good quality. A menu was given to the passengers for this flight with a choice of chicken, pasta and fish. There was also a meal offered before landing and many beverages as an option, which makes a huge difference from my last Avianca flight from Bogota to LA, where they only served whiskey as an alcoholic choice. Here is the flight safety card for the Airbus 330, which was easy to read and understand. I always like to show these on my videos because they are important, and it shows, of course, airline compliance within the safety sector. This is a night departure from Madrid, so not much to see out of the windows apart from darkness. This flight map was great. I like the easy, understandable ones. Here it's clear that the first flight sector is from Madrid to San Salvador and is about a 10-hour flight. This cute welcome card was given to the passengers, and a nice and expensive touch, I am sure. A cold towel service was given before lunch. Good to point out that the male cabin member in the business class was in training, so there was some slight imperfections which were not his fault. The Amenity Kit was again an Avianca kit, a little small but had all the essentials inside. Inside the kit was a sleep mask, eyeglass, seat cleaner, socks, moisturiser, dental kit, lip balm, tissues and headphone protectors, though we didn't have the proper headphones for the protectors to use. Another slight imperfection, the table linen was just placed like this one on the table, rather than being opened up, which is a usual service for this class. So I found my new Bose headphones, which I was quite happy with once I figured out how to work them. I chose the chicken gist, which was in a delicious sauce, accompanied by a green salad, a rice dish and some bread. This is all actually quite good, and again on Avianca catering. This was a really delicious mousse dish, and I wanted 2 of these. They were so good. So after the meal service, we are just a little into the transatlantic crossing, which always makes me nervous in case of any plane failure and there's no land available. Time for a rest. I put my seat into a flatbed mode, apply the mattress protection and get ready for some sleep. Hopefully I'm not drooling. I honestly had a great sleep on this flight and was all very comfortable, and woke up to this breakfast delight, courtesy again of Avianca and WAMOS. This was like a frittata and some fruit and breads, followed by a yogurt. Hi there. So I've just had 7 hours of sleep. I cannot believe it. So after supper, I just finished watching this movie with Anthony Hopkins in, and then just put my seat out into a flatbed and slept for 7 hours, and was woken up with breakfast, which I just had, which was very good. So we've got about an hour now until we land into El Salvador, and then I have a 2-hour layover there and get on the other flight to LA. So far so good. The flight actually hasn't been too bad. The crew's been very, very nice. a wonderful crew. The menu was an Avianca menu, and the food was pretty good. So it's not been too bad. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to this next flight, and I'm looking forward to seeing a little bit of San Salvador airport. So see you later when I fly on to LA, and hopefully my bags will be with me as well. I'm not sure about that though. We are now over Honduran airspace and approaching El Salvador. I take this time to play with the in-flight entertainment screen and see what's on offer, which wasn't a great choice. A beautiful Honduran sunrise for this early morning arrival into El Salvador. So I noticed these stickers dotted around all over the left side of the cabin wall. They wouldn't come off, and not totally sure what they are for. It looks like something clips into them, maybe a curtain divider, I don't know. Playing with the reading light, which now didn't want to work. Look at this great sunrise view, so fantastic. This is why I love flying, to see things like this. This looks like the El Salvadorian coastline in all its early morning glory. I think this is very artistic, where the sun reflects onto the window and the coastline in the background. Starting our descent now into San Salvador, and here is some countryside which looks stunning. Coming into land pretty fast though, no turbulence. Arrival into San Salvador Airport on a beautiful, sunny morning. So there was an hour or so between flights, so I decided to walk around the airport, as there didn't seem to be a lounge, or I couldn't find it. Came across this nice artifact exhibit showing El Salvador's history. So we're going to board the same A330, and we have another security check to go through into this very small waiting area. A quick walk around the duty-free area before committing myself to the small waiting zone. Leaving from gate 6 for this 5-hour flight up to LA. Here is the tail end of the plane. And even with priority boarding, we still got a little stuck on the jet bridge for a few minutes. Great view of the side of the plane from the jet bridge window. So back in the same business class cabin for this flight this time, I did not have a window seat but an aisle seat instead. Here is a good look at the side view of the private pod, which is not so bad. Kind of tired and goofy at this point. Trying to get some views out of the window from the aisle seat, which was not an easy task. So a 5-hour and 17-minute flight heading north to Los Angeles. An eye mask and a cheapy headphones were given for this flight segment. A nice blanket was provided, though no pillow. The cabin was full on this flight. A nice light omelette breakfast, again more fruit and coffee. This was all quite good, quality food and delicious. Here is a seat in a lie flat position. It was nice and wide and a good 6 foot in length when on lie flat mode. More sleep time. A pretty much uneventful fly up to LA flying over Mexico. WAMOS Air was a great experience for a wet lease charter airline. The staff were great and the plane was super comfortable. Avianca uses them a lot for this service, along with other airlines like Etihad and Air New Zealand. Again, I really enjoyed this WAMOS flight. I would fly them again. I have global entry, so arriving back into the US was seamless. Would highly recommend getting this if you fly a lot. A very quick immigration, thanks to global entry, and waiting for the baggage wasn't too bad. Thanks so much for watching this flight review, and if you want to see more, please hit like, subscribe and notify. Thank you so much. Bye bye.